And very apropos, Trump world order. That's the focus of tonight's angle. Oh, remember them? Their predictions were dire.
I think Americans need to understand the alliances are over. The United States is alone.
We're losing the economic alliances, and we're risking losing the national security alliances.
It's a disaster for American alliances. If I'm China, I'm loving this, right? Because all these alliances are falling apart.
Those alliances are falling apart. Perhaps a different line of work is in order, folks. Not only are alliances not falling apart, they're being repaired.
Convey our highest respect and appreciation to you for demonstrating the will to defend peace, strong leadership, and dedication to the Korea-U.S. relationship.
I would like to wish each and every one of you prosperity and also world peace. Let me raise a toast. For world peace and collaboration between states.
Okay, the Golden Crown is just going to send all the No Kings people into the stratosphere. This is my personal favorite. He was even greeted in South Korea with a red carpet and his signature song. What you saw this week is a spectacular table reset. When we look back on this period years from now, we will see that it wasn't Joe Biden, who the media, remember, they anointed him as the expert on foreign affairs. He traveled the world. He's no one smarter on foreign affairs than Joe Biden. But the man who reshaped U.S. foreign policy was Donald J. Trump. Because he knows that if America prospers, our allies will as well.
When America thrives, our partners thrive, and our alliances thrive with all of the countries. The Indo-Pacific thrives, and that's good for all of us. And the entire world becomes safer and wealthy and greater than ever before. We get along with a lot of countries. We solved a lot of wars and a lot of problems, and that's all good for all of us.
Now we know why I called it Liberation Day last spring. Because it took that forceful and jarring moment, all those tariffs upped, followed by a relentless yet delicate series of trade negotiations, to remake the entire political conversation around tariffs and then reclaim our sovereignty that will guarantee our future independence. Now, 7 months later, the entire international marketplace has factored tariffs into their business models. And yet the world, last time I checked, it didn't come to an end.
Mr. Toyota was there from Toyota, and he's agreed to invest $10 billion in building auto plants. They're going to build numerous auto plants throughout the United States with American workers, as you know. And it's a tremendous, it'll be one of the biggest investments ever in the auto business. It's the old story. If you build in the United States, you don't have any tariffs, so everyone's coming in.
America's wealth has grown, inflation has slowed, and the Dow Jones has climbed more than 12% this year. And now U.S. manufacturers will have a fighting chance as countries know that the years of outsourcing everything to Asia are over. We're not going to put up with their globalist games any longer. But back home, Democrats' big moves include embracing socialism, refusing to reopen the government, and complaining about a ballroom. Well, that seems even more petty and more foolish. Every move they make, especially when it's compared to what Trump is accomplishing in his pivot to Asia.
We're over $17 trillion, probably up to $18 trillion of investment. In the last 4 years of the last administration, there were less than $1 trillion. And we're over 17 trillion. We're close to 18. I think we're going to be 21 or 22 trillion by the time I finish my first year. And there's never, in history, there's never been anything like that for any country, not even close. And part of that is the national security, given to us by the tariffs, properly used tariffs.
You know I love tariffs. Well, no candidate in the midterms is going to argue going forward that we should tie ourselves more tightly to China. And in 2028, can you seriously imagine any party nominee arguing that we should return to the pre-Trump days of trade rip-offs for American businesses? Will they be urging that Toyota and Hyundai stop building their factories here? Will any serious Democrat try to argue that America should abandon its new Trump-ordered push into rare earths? He's totally changed the game to one of greater fairness and greater opportunity for American workers and our manufacturers. And now it's the way it always should have been, of course. Any country that wants access to our marketplace is going to have to pay, and the relationship will have to be reciprocal. That's why this meeting with Xi in a few hours is so critical. Trump needs to keep the pressure on.
I think we're going to have a deal. I think it'll be a good deal for both. And that's really a great result. You know, that's better than fighting and going through all sorts of problems. You know, when you're talking about nations, it really is a little bit different than you're doing a business deal and you want to just rip their hearts out, right? These guys know what I mean. They've ripped out so many hearts. But when you have nations, it's a little bit different, you know? You gotta all balance out a little bit.
Well, I thought he was going to be a sledgehammer. Didn't the experts say that as well? But on to China. I don't trust China to live up to any deal it makes, including on fentanyl chemicals, but the administration is just going to have to monitor that and enforce compliance. I think Xi is going to nod and shake hands and talk about a new global understanding of mutual respect and probably be a good series of follow-up meetings. But in the end, Xi is a dictator and takes orders from no one. That will not change. The first thing I'd like to see President Trump do when he returns is go to Congress, demand they reopen, and announce a new Manhattan Project for rare earths. No more messing around. No more Chinese blackmail. Right now, Trump officials may say publicly that we're not decoupling from China, but beneath the surface, decoupling is already underway. We'll make our own magnets. We will mine and refine our own rare earth materials. We will make our own magnets and produce our own chips and pharmaceuticals. Since we pulled away from Britain almost 250 years ago, we've been through a lot as a nation. We've ended slavery, the Industrial Revolution, the Great Depression, 2 world wars, civil rights movement, the Cold War, 9/11, COVID. And there is no way that Donald Trump, after everything that he also endured to win 2 elections, is going to leave office with America in a more vulnerable position than when he was sworn in. Instead, he's doing everything he can, using American leverage and his own lifetime of experience to leave us stronger than we've been in decades. And that is a noble goal for a nation about to have a big birthday. And that's The Angle.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.